In the recent times and in the last years, we see a tremendous increase in the need of biometric authentication and authorization. You are authorizing on tablets, on the smartphones, on the laptops, even at your home when you want to have entries and much more. Biometric identification is also needed in the context of border control and to fight against crime and terrorism. But here we have a little bit of a problem during this crisis because the facial recognition is not so effective anymore because you wear your protection mask. And also for the fingerprint recognition, not everybody is very keen to put his 4 fingers on a sensor where 1,000 of people have put their fingers on before. There are countermeasures to overcome these problems. The COVID crisis boosted some new innovations like contactless technologies. And if you want to use these new technologies, you have to think about compatibility and performance. Contactless fingerprint capturing techniques, for instance, they prove to work extremely well. It copes much better with dry and wet fingers, for instance. If you ask me about performance, there's one paper from the NIST Institute, for instance, comparing contactless and contact-based fingerprints, and the results are very, very promising. The actual existing standards, for instance, the Appendix F for fingerprints, was built for contact devices. So these standards are not applicable at the moment. So there's a need to introduce new standards. So we as AIT, as a research leader of a European research project, we paved the way to address these challenges. When it comes to accuracy, our results are very promising. For the contactless capturing, you have to take into account that we can take 4 fingers at once, which is a huge advantage about the old-style flat bed scanners, where you have only 1 or 2 fingers. Taking 4 fingers on a flat bed scanner is very complicated and needs some time, and it's not very hygienic. An additional point is to reach exactly 500 dpi for PIF standardization. So we can do this. We are accurate enough to have this ±2% accuracy. When we think about using this technology in the field, eventually unattended, we have also to cope with presentation attacks. First, for the contactless fingerprint scanners, it's very complicated to reproduce a hand in 3D, and you have also to reproduce 4 fingers at once, which is very complex, so it's very difficult for the attacker. Second, we do the capturing in different wavelengths, meaning that it is, in addition, very, very complex to make a spoof attempt. Besides this, there is a tremendous advantage of contactless fingerprint scanners because you don't leave any traces on the device, because you have no contact. So, on which technologies are we actually working? This is an example for capturing fingerprints on the smartphone. So the only thing what you have to do is you have to select which fingers you want to capture. So you can select each finger on your own. Then you put your fingers on the phone, they are immediately detected, and if they get green, we have enough resolution that we can have an identification. When you turn back and look into the results, you see the fingerprints. What you see here is an example of a contactless-based scanner. It takes 4 fingers at once. Inside there is a camera taking 20 frames a second. It does this very accurate and very fast. At the moment, this is in solution within PC, but we are working on a version which is totally embedded for a better price ratio. What you see here is an example of the integration of our technology in an e-gate turnstile device. It's a very fast solution, it's a very clean and cheap solution, can be used, let's say, for border control or also for company access. All we do within AIT is based on the fact that new technologies have to be implemented together with end users and stakeholders according to their needs, including all ethical, legal and social aspects to overcome the challenges of the future.